Ash Ketchum has faced countless rivals, each with their own unique strengths and weaknesses, and some of them have a lot of weaknesses. We've already ranked Ash's Pokemon and Ash's companions, so now it's time to rank all of Ash's rivals from weakest to strongest. And no, I'm not counting Tobias, he's not a rival. Like always, we're starting with the lowest tier, the E tier, aka the below average tier. This tier is reserved for Casey. This newbie trainer could have been the perfect rival for the experienced Johto Ash, but the writers just kinda forgot about her after the bug catching contest, and they only gave her 4 badges before the Johto League, easily making her the weakest rival. Her only real good Pokemon was Meganium, but like, it's a Meganium. Next, we move on to the D tier, aka the average tier, consisting of Hau, Richie, Bianca, Nando, Rinto, and Morrison. Hau doesn't need much explanation. He was introduced last minute in Sun and Moon, had 2 Pokemon to his name, got embarrassed by God Rowlet, and he only just started his Island Challenge by the time of the Alola League. Well, at least he's got a Z move. Now Richie, I'm sure a lot of people are surprised to see solo on the list here, but honestly, he's just a clone of Kanto Ash. The whole point of Richie was to be a better reflection of Ash, but once he overcame his rookie phase by winning the Orange League, Richie serves no purpose anymore, leaving him pretty behind compared to most other rivals. Bianca's alright. She was pretty weak at first, but turns things around once her Pignet evolves and defeats Trip and Georgia at the Clubsplosion. But other rivals are just simply stronger, cause she does lose to Stefan, and Trip improves drastically after this tournament. She also loses pretty early on in the Unova League against Cameron. As for Nando, I've said it in previous videos, he's definitely more of a contest guy. When it comes to those rules, he excels, but when it comes to just brute strength and head-to-head battling, he's just average. Now Rinto is the definition of overhype. He was made to look really strong when Ash first met him, yet this man wasn't even in the great class of the PWC, and Ash is able to quickly surpass him in the span of like 10 episodes. His only purpose was to help Farfetch'd evolve, and once that happened, it was adios for him. And then there's Morrison. He puts up a good fight against Ash in the Hoenn League, but honestly, aside from his Metang and his Steelix, he doesn't really have anything else that would make him stand out. He's fine, he's average. He made the league, but that doesn't mean he was gonna win it. Next is the C tier, aka the above average tier. Now we're getting into the formidable rivals, starting with Trevor? Okay, real talk, the only thing that helped squeeze Trevor into this tier is his Mega Charizard. Even if his Charizard sucked, the fact that Trevor mastered Mega Evolution is still impressive. Also, it wasn't really fair that he had to face Alon of all people in the first round of the Kalos League, so we couldn't really see what his Charizard was truly made of. Next is Stefan. Now this is someone who did get to show off their stuff. Stefan has competed in countless battle tournaments and even dominated the Clubsplosion. He defeated Bianca, got lots of development with Sock, and he was even able to hold his own against Ash's Crocodile, until he lost. Following Stefan, we have Cameron. Now Cameron is an interesting case because he is pretty strong, but he's also an idiot who makes dumb choices. Like seriously, why did you leave your water types out against Pikachu? He does pack the pseudo-legendary Hydreigon though, and his Lucario probably has one of the biggest plot armors in the entire anime by wiping out half of Ash's team. After Cameron, it's Tierno. Not only is he strong, but he's also got an amazing rhythmic battle style that even had Ash questioning his own style. He was definitely a worthy opponent for Ash in early XY. Too bad the other XY rivals quickly surpassed him in the second half. Conway. He's strategic and calculative and is basically the closest thing we've got to a competitive Pokemon player in the anime. If his opponents don't think outside the box like Ash or don't have the strength to overpower him, he can be quite the challenge. And now we have Trip. Trip is weird because they clearly wanted to make him the new Paul by always beating Ash, but he loses to everyone else. Silent beats him, Bianca beats him, he really wasn't all that. That was until the Junior Cup though, where his superior became really OP and won him the tournament. That Pokemon alone is what makes Trip stand out, but he's still nowhere near the level of a champion. Next is Barry. He might be a bit of a goofball, but he's definitely got strength. And unlike Trip, he has other viable Pokemon aside from his starter. Don't let his embarrassing loss against Paul distract you though, cause even Paul acknowledged Barry's skills. Harrison. Now this guy is a bit more serious and level-headed, which explains why he did so well in the Johto League. He's got a pretty good team, being led by a Blaziken who was able to defeat Ash's Charizard after it had been training in the Chariscific Valley. Now granted, Charizard has gotten stronger since then, but that still doesn't change the fact that this is a guy who's beaten one of Ash's strongest Pokemon. After Harrison is Kiawe. I won't say too much as it's the same as I said in the companion tier list. He's training to be a Kahuna, he's pretty strong, and he recently defeated Gladion. Speaking of which, next is Gladion. The reason I still have him above Kiawe is cause he lost with a Pokemon he barely trained with. Before that though, he did defeat Kiawe. He's also beaten Ash multiple times and has a pretty solid team, with Silvally being one of the strongest members. He was able to make the finals of the Alola League after all. Now we move on to the B tier, aka the Elite Four tier. These are all trainers that can rival Elite Four strength. First up is Tyson. Now this is the first rival on this list to have a truly stacked team. From Sceptile to Metagross to even Puss in Boots surprisingly, this team looks like it kicks serious ass. And it did help Tyson win the entire Hoenn League. And in case you forgot, winning a league conference allows you to battle the Elite Four, so he is easily Elite Four tier. The same applies to Virgil. I'm still annoyed that we got introduced to this character only for Ash to not battle him, but even still, I can't ignore his strength. With a team of evolutions, this man won the Unova League with absolute ease. In the full battle against Cameron, he only lost 3 Pokemon. Kind of insane considering how close Ash and Cameron's fight was. Next up is Sawyer. Although not a league winner, he definitely had the strength to win, if it wasn't for Ash and the lawn. Sawyer's amazing because he went from being a total noob to a total powerhouse in a short amount of time. His quick growth was insane, and with his Mega Sceptile went toe-to-toe with Ash Greninja. What makes Sawyer so formidable though, is his ability to analyze his opponent's battle styles to come up with the perfect counter. With a big brain like that, it's no wonder he had Ash shook. After Sawyer is Bee. She easily earns this spot due to the sheer competition of Galar gym leaders. They are far stronger than the average gym leader, with their strongest, Raihan, being on the level of champions. And with Bee being ranked the 30th strongest in the world, it's pretty safe to say that she's stronger than most of Ash's rivals. I mean, she did kick Ash's ass multiple times, and it literally took plot armor for Ash to finally beat her. And ending off this tier, we have the GOAT, Gary Oak. As the grandson of Professor Oak, Gary was always a talented trainer. I mean, the man went out and got 10 gym badges just to flex once. Who does that? He might have retired from official battles after the Johto League, but that still hasn't stopped him from getting stronger. Since then, he's caught an Electivire that beat Ash's Pikachu, post the Regice win, and has battled numerous legendaries during Project Mew, with his most notable performance being against Moltres. So yeah, Gary Oak still got it. And now it's time for the A tier, aka the Champion tier, for champion level trainers. First up is Paul. I really don't gotta emphasize why Paul is so strong. Just look at the countless thrashings he gave our boy across Sinnoh. This man is ruthless when it comes to battle, and he pushes Ash to his absolute limit. Even after his loss at the Sinnoh League, we know that Paul continues to get stronger, as he leaves to challenge Brandon. And he even comes back to face Ash before the Masters 8. What's really important about this battle is the fact that Paul was able to hold his own against Ash right before the tournament. This is the Journeys team at the end of their training, so they're about the same strength they'll be when Ash wins the whole tournament. So the fact that Paul was able to put up a good fight against the soon-to-be world champion is insane. He could have easily made the Masters 8 himself if the Journeys writers actually gave a shit. Next we have Professor Kukui. Prior to the Alola League, under the alias of the Mask Royal, Kukui was the undefeated strongest trainer in Alola. He was basically the champion of the region. As a master of battle royals, his Incineroar has a lot of experience with taking on multiple powerful opponents at once. This is why Ash's Torracat defeating it was a big deal, cause Kukui was kind of that guy. And on top of Incineroar, Kukui also has even more powerful Pokemon to use, including that mysterious 6th member that we'll never know about. And the fact that Tapu Koko let Kukui command it shows just how much his strength is respected. And ending off this tier is Alon. I know he gets clowned on these days because of the Masters 8, but don't forget, this was the guy who beat Ash Greninja and put all the XY fans into a deep depression, myself included. The loss still kinda hurts. Alon has defeated countless Mega Evolved Pokemon, battled legendaries, eviscerated Trevor, won the Kalos League, and even ranked his way up as the 6th strongest trainer in the entire world. Even if he hasn't become an official champion, he's literally ranked right behind Diantha in strength, so we might as well just treat him like one. And finally, we have the S tier, aka the Legendary tier, for Ash's strongest rival. And this one should be pretty obvious. So obvious, in fact, that I'm not even gonna waste your time. The video's over. Thank you all for watching this video. I'm kidding, it's Leon. As the literal strongest trainer in the world before Ash came along, it's pretty hard for any other rival to come close. I mean, just look at his battle with Ash's 2nd strongest rival. He embarrassed Alon. This man took every amazing feat I just talked about and laughed. His Charizard is insanely powerful, his Rillaboom is busted, and honestly, I don't know if Ash could have beaten him if he wasn't allowed to use 4 gimmicks in one battle. But still, win or lose, Leon will always be Ash's strongest rival. At least until the next World Championships. Who knows, maybe one day we'll see someone like Nimona give our boy a good challenge. Thank you all for watching this video. Let me know how you rank all of Ash's rivals in the comments. Shout out to the channel members for their extra support, and consider joining as well to watch these videos days early. Last but not least, make sure to live your life to the fullest, and have yourself a damn good one.